Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube, Diggy546. Now I wanted to make this video on Brian Burns because the last 2 years, Brian Burns has been the most unnecessarily disrespected Giants player. I mean, I just don't get it. The guy does nothing but go out there and play like at minimum a pro bowler, at maximum this year so far, an all pro level caliber player. And fans just continue to just say, "Oh, he's not doing anything. He's getting paid close to $30 million." Meanwhile, guys are getting paid 40 million. But we want to talk about everything that he's not doing, and and this year he's finally healthy, and he's completely able to do this on a down in, down out basis. But even last year, he was dominant. But let's get straight into it. This first play is going to be his only sack of the game. He had two week one this past week. And just take a look at Brian Burns right here. He is going to be chipped by the tight end, and he got a lot of chipping in. They did a lot of chipping on Brian Burns this game. But let's take a look at this play here. He's going to come off the edge, get chipped by the tight end. They actually get a nice chip on him. Brian Burns is off the screen right now. He's essentially off the screen right now, and he's going to come back in the screen and beat the tackle and go get Dak Prescott. All right, so this is another play. And again, Bowen loves to line these guys up out wide. And you're just going to look at Brian Burns here. He's going to get chipped again, make that guy miss, and bend this corner. And him and Abdul Carter are just ridiculous when it comes to bending the corner. Just look at the guy bending the corner here and almost getting there to Dak. I think Kayvon ends up sacking him. Kayvon and I was going to say Aziz because I see the 51 Kayvon and Abdul Carter, even though Abdul didn't get credit for it, end up sacking him. So again, this is for all the people who think that Brian Burns is just some supporting pass rusher and no one really pays attention to him. And he's just good because he's on the Giants, but he's not necessarily a dominant pass rusher in this league. You got Dex on the field, you got Thibodeaux on the field, you got Burns on the field. Burns is the one that's going to get the double team. I think Dex get double too, but nope. All right, so on this next play, you're going to get actually a smart play here from Javonte Williams. Pretty smart play if you ask me. You're going to get Brian Burns looping inside. You're going to get Dex kind of taking this inside too, so they're kind of conflicting with each other. Let's take a look here. Dex wins inside. He wins his one-on-one. Burns wins his one-on-one. And instead of Javonte Williams going specifically for Dex, he goes for Dex and also realizes he's in the way of Brian Burns too. So even though Burns wins this rep here, he's not getting to the quarterback because he's got a running back chipping right there and he's got Dex bringing his guy there. But this again shows like this is easy for him. Look how easily he beat this tackle. I think this is Guyton here. And then again, folks, I just want you to realize how much attention is being paid to Brian Burns. And I'm excited for whenever Dex gets his feet back under him and he's himself again because he's not going to be able to be doubled the way that he is being doubled once he starts doing his thing and Burns does his thing. It's going to be very difficult. And guys like Abdul Carter, guys like Kayvon Thibodeaux are going to continue to get their one-on-ones and they'll only see one-on-ones. And guys like Darius Alexander and other interior defensive linemen, if they can win any one-on-one, basically like how Elijah Garcia did in overtime, it's going to open up things for a lot of other people. So take a look at number 0. I already circled him on the left. He's going to be chipped by the tight end. Then he's going to engage with the lineman, and he's getting chipped by the running back. And it's like they're making sure that if anybody is going to beat them, it's not going to be Brian Burns. Take a look at it. They got a double on Dex. They got a double on Burns. So Thibodeaux's been playing well this year, but he's going to have to start winning these. But this is more of a quick throw anyway. But just take a look. He's getting the same respect, if not more, because he's getting chipped by the tight end and the running back and Dexter Lawrence. All right, so Brian Burns is going to be on your left. Same spot he's been the whole video so far. And he's going to come off the ball and just realize that Dak is going to the quick game and he's going to swat it down. Easy stuff right there. And this just shows like how much of an impact he's making from a down and down out basis. Even when he's not getting into Dak's face, even when he isn't commanding a triple team, He's knocking down the football. All right, so anybody who's been on this channel knows that I usually don't like moving my edge rushers who are dominant edge rushers to linebacker. I usually don't like doing that. He'll play linebacker from time to time and drop back. You'll also have Abdul Carter play linebacker from time to time and line up in this off ball spot, traditional off ball linebacker spot. This is basically a 4-3 right here. So normally this is a 4-3. This is a 4-3. You got 3 linebackers standing up, you got 4 down linemen. This is it's traditional as it gets 4-3 defense. And Elijah Garcia is probably a 4-3 defensive end body type wise, the way he looks there. Essentially, anyway. And then you also got Darius Alexander there too. Another guy who could probably be that tweener between a 3 tech and a 4-3 defensive end. But anyway, Brian Burns, as you see, number 0 is lined up at traditional stand-up linebacker, outside linebacker in a 4-3. And just look at how he just analyzes this screen and is able to move laterally here and backwards. I mean, he looks like a regular linebacker, and he just crashes down and knocks this guy out. Like, this is the athlete that we have here in Brian Burns that's across from Abdul Carter. This is what gets you so excited about this defense. And if we had like a genius at defensive coordinator, this defense would be disgusting. The defense will be disgusting. So we see glimpses of it with, with Thibodeaux getting in his face right there. Thibodeaux working. Terrence Steele working him. Look at this. And this isn't a Thibodeaux video, but look at him just work Terrence Steele and get in Dak's face. You got, I think that's Elijah Garcia. Shout out to him. He's winning his rep too. He had a couple of nice plays. So again, Thibodeaux working. And then you got Abdul Carter coming from outside. I didn't even see him. Oh, no, that's ignore what I said. Ignore me. That's Javon Holland. I'm like, well, I didn't see him lined up on the field. So anyway, you got Thibodeaux in Dak Prescott's face. And then while they're throwing the screen, you got Brian Burns cracking down on Javonte Williams right there. All right, now Burns again lined up on the left side is just going to get the one-on-one, and he's just going to beyond bull rush. He's going to put his shoulder in Tyler Guyton's chest and just run over him and just go after the quarterback. And sometimes that works because you're going to see he's going to get a leg, and I think they threw a flag because he contacted him a little bit late and hit him, in the leg. They don't like when you go at the legs. But essentially, if he's still holding the ball here and takes Dak down right there, that's a sack. But just look at just the athleticism and the length here. He just knows that, like, if I bulldoze this dude and I just fall forward into Dak, I have the wherewithal to be able to grab him from this far out and take him down. As Dak, throws a dot on the sideline. All right, so like I said, remember the athleticism that I talked about here from Brian Burns, basically lined up on one side of the field. The screen goes to the other side of the field. You're going to watch it. Self-explanatory. Just watch number 0 the whole way. Watch number 0. He's engaged. He's getting doubled. And now he sees it. And he's going to run this screen down once again and take this guy out. And this is when our defense was completely dominating. Guys were playing free. Guys were being aggressive. Guys, just look, the defense, it's a certain tone that you set as a defense where guys are being aggressive and guys are coming up and hitting. Notice your cornerbacks aren't lined up. Notice you can actually see Drew Phillips in the screen. Your cornerbacks aren't lined up 10 yards off. Look at your safety is only about 9 yards off of the ball. This level of aggressiveness had us dominating Dallas's offense at the beginning of the game, and we just went away from it because we got the lead. We just went away from it, and that's how they came back and won the game. But again, just take a look at Burns and how he's just able to play free, navigate this double team, and then go and shut down this screenplay. This is just another crazy play, in my opinion, of him just getting doubled again. It's just so funny that they just will not let this guy get clean rushes for the most part. Of course, he's going to start off. He's going to beat Tyler Guyton again, and he's going to get chipped. And he's still basically getting the pressure, making Dak get rid of it. It's hilarious. Like, this is how good this dude is that people try to say, oh, they're paying too much for him. And, I just don't get it. All right, so this next play, you're going to see what happens when Brian Burns gets singled up against Tyler Guyton. He's going to come off the ball with reckless abandon, get in his chest, disengage, And this should have been if Dak is on 10. Dak's awareness is on 1,000 because this should have been the play that pretty much iced the game for us. I think this is in the early fourth quarter, mid fourth quarter, somewhere around that. But this should have been what iced the game for us pretty much. This could have been the turnover that changed the game because this ball should be about 20 feet in the air right now, and somebody should be running up under it to go pick it up and return it for a touchdown. But Dak tucks this ball, evades this sack, and turns it into a positive game. I mean, you just can't get more frustrating than that because this should have been a strip sack and it should have been a huge play. And I'm expecting to see this. I'm expecting to see this in the next couple of weeks of him just swatting the ball out from one of these quarterbacks because he's going to realize that he's going to have to wrap a guy up, but also still go for the ball. All right, folks, and this is overtime where pretty much the entire team was tired. Pretty much that whole defensive line was tired because they had been rushing all day. And let's face it, Brian Dable, his team is usually out of shape in the beginning of the season. But anyway, take a look at number 0 on the left. You're going to see a decent rush from him towards the end of the game, still winning, still doing this thing against Guyton, wins on the inside, and, makes Dak get rid of it. And you got to break up from Andrew Phillips right there. Again, being aggressive for the most part worked. And it's just unfortunate that we didn't do it as consistently as I would have liked. All right, now shout out Brian Burns. I think he's going to have an amazing season. He's definitely going double-digit sacks this season. Definitely going to have double-digit sacks. Not sure how many. He could be a guy that goes for 16, 17. Could be a guy that goes for 13. But I'm going to say he at least gets 13 sacks this year because he's playing out of his mind. Don't know, how the rest of the league will do if he'll make All-Pro and all that stuff. But I'm excited to see Brian Burns healthy this year and really, really making noise. And it's only going to make Abdul Carter and Dexter Lawrence better. Dex has been gone all offseason. He is out of shape, and he's not the player that he normally is. When that Dex returns and he's playing next to this Brian Burns and young Abdul Carter and an improved Kayvon Thibodeau, this pass rush is going to look even better and it's going to be more consistent than we've seen so far this year. And I'm hoping that Dex feels a little bit better and is in shape and is going full tilt this next game. But again, you all let me know what you're thinking of this past game by Brian Burns and what your projections are for him for the rest of the season.